I slammed the door in her face at exactly 12:03 a.m. My wife was shaking behind me, her breath short, fingers digging into my arm like she was trying to stay grounded. Another panic attack. Another night after the hospital. And there she was. HOA Karen. Open the door. I need to inspect your property. At midnight. I didn't even try to be polite. Come back in the morning, I said. My wife is sick. She leaned closer to the door, voice sharp. Sick? She's been sick for 6 months. What exactly is wrong with her? That was it. None of your business, I snapped. Now leave. Silence. Then a slow, controlled breath on the other side, and footsteps walking away. I should have known that wasn't the end. It was the beginning. We moved into this neighborhood 6 months ago, hoping for a quiet life. Instead, my wife got sicker. Doctors, tests, waiting rooms that smelled like fear. And the worst part? No answers. Some days she could barely stand. Other days, she smiled like everything was fine, but I could see it, the exhaustion, the weight she carried inside. And then came the whispers. At first, it was small things. Neighbors avoiding eye contact. Conversations stopping when we walked by. Then it got worse. I found out exactly how bad it was when my wife tried to sit in the park. She came back 10 minutes later. Didn't say a word. Just sat on the edge of the bed, staring at her hands. What happened? I asked. She hesitated, then whispered. They moved away from me. My chest tightened. Who? The women in the park. They got up and left. One of them told her child not to go near me. I felt something cold settle inside me. This wasn't random. This was planned. 2 days later, I found out the truth. A neighbor I barely knew knocked on my door, nervous, looking over her shoulder like she wasn't supposed to be there. They had a meeting, she said quietly. Who? The HOA. Karen called everyone. My jaw clenched. What did she say? The woman hesitated, then said it anyway. She told them your wife has a serious disease. Something contagious. She said you're hiding it. For a second, I just stared at her. Then I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because I couldn't believe how far she'd gone. She told them we refused inspection because we're hiding it, the neighbor added. She made everyone sign something, a petition. A petition? I repeated. To remove you. That night, my wife didn't eat. She didn't cry either. That scared me more. She just sat there, quiet, like something inside her had finally broken. And I knew exactly who did it. Karen. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of a truck. Heavy engine. Doors slamming. I stepped outside with my coffee still in my hand and froze. Karen was standing there, with a clipboard, and behind her, half the neighborhood, watching, judging, waiting. And then I saw the truck. Empty. Ready. My grip tightened around the cup. What is this? I asked. Karen smiled. Cold. Controlled. Mister, she said sweetly, due to multiple violations and safety concerns, you are required to vacate the property immediately. I blinked once. Then again. You're joking. No, she said. Your refusal to comply with inspection, your aggressive behavior, and most importantly, she paused, making sure everyone was listening. Your wife's medical condition poses a risk to this community. Behind her, I saw people nodding. Actually nodding. Like this was reasonable. Like this was justified. Something inside me snapped. This is insane, I said. You have no right. We have every right, she cut in. And we have signatures. She lifted the clipboard. Pages filled. Names I recognized. People who smiled at us just weeks ago. And then it happened. 2 men walked past me. Straight into my house. Hey, I shouted. What do you think you're doing? Enforcing the decision, Karen said calmly. My wife appeared behind me. Pale. Confused. What's happening? She whispered. I turned, trying to shield her from the scene unfolding. But it was already too late. They were carrying our things out. Boxes. Chairs. Personal stuff. Dumping it outside like it meant nothing. Like we meant nothing. My wife's breathing started to change. Fast. Shallow. No, she whispered. I grabbed her hands. Hey, look at me. Breathe. Just breathe. But her knees buckled. And I knew. Another panic attack. Right here. In front of everyone. I looked up. Straight at Karen. You did this, I said quietly. She didn't even deny it. You brought this on yourself, she replied. That was the moment. The exact moment I made the call. I pulled out my phone, dialed one number, and put it to my ear. Karen smirked. Calling for help, she asked. I met her eyes. No, I said. I'm calling the one person you really shouldn't have messed with. My brother picked up on the second ring. I need you here, I said. No explanation. No details. He didn't ask questions. On my way. By the time he arrived, everything was worse. Our belongings were scattered across the front yard. Neighbors stood in small groups, whispering like we were some kind of spectacle. And my wife. She was sitting on the ground, back against the wall, arms wrapped around herself like she was trying to disappear. I crouched beside her. It's okay, I whispered, even though it clearly wasn't. Her voice was barely audible. They all think I'm dangerous. That word hit harder than anything else. Dangerous. Not sick. Not struggling. Dangerous. I looked up and saw Karen watching us. Satisfied. A black car pulled up. Doors opened. And my brother stepped out. Sharp suit. Calm expression. The kind of presence that changes the air without saying a word. Karen turned toward him, annoyed. And who are you? She asked. He didn't even look at her. Not at first. He walked straight to me. Took one look at the scene. At my wife. At the boxes. And then, slowly, he turned. Now he looked at her. You're the one in charge here, he asked. Karen straightened. Yes. And this doesn't concern you. It concerns me now, he said. Simple. Flat. Final. Something in his tone made a few neighbors shift uncomfortably. Karen scoffed. We have full authority to remove them. There are health risks. Stop, he said. Not loud. But it cut through everything. You don't get to use words like health risk without proof. Karen's smile tightened. We have reason to believe. No, he interrupted again. You have rumors. And you turn them into action. He stepped closer. Did you enter this property without legal authorization? Karen hesitated. For inspection purposes. That's a yes. He nodded once. Did you remove personal belongings without a court order? Silence. Somewhere behind her, someone shifted. Another person looked away. And did you publicly accuse a resident of having a contagious disease without medical confirmation? Now the silence was louder. Karen's confidence was cracking. I was protecting the community, she said. My brother didn't react. From what? He asked. Your imagination? He turned slightly, addressing the neighbors now. Every single one of you who signed that petition, he said calmly, just participated in harassment, defamation, and illegal eviction. A ripple moved through the crowd. Fear. Real fear. Because suddenly, this wasn't gossip anymore. It was law. Karen tried one last time. They refused inspection, she said. They were hiding something. They were protecting medical privacy, my brother cut in. Then he looked directly at her. And you violated it. I saw it then. The shift. The exact moment she realized. She had gone too far. Within minutes, everything changed. The same people who stood there watching, now they were helping, picking up boxes, carrying things back inside, avoiding eye contact. Karen stood frozen. No clipboard now. No authority. Just a woman who had just lost everything she thought she controlled. My brother walked past her one last time. This isn't over, he said. And for the first time since I'd met her. She had nothing to say. I went back inside, closed the door, and found my wife sitting quietly on the couch. I sat beside her, took her hand. They're bringing everything back, I said softly. She nodded, but didn't look up. After a moment, she whispered, I thought. I lost everything. I squeezed her hand. No, I said. You didn't. Because outside that door, Karen lost a lot more.